Hello everyone, welcome to a special edition of In the Box Seat. We're joined by Luke Henderson and none other than a Golden Slipper Trophy of 2008. Welcome to the show again, Luke.
Thanks very much, Mitch. I'm filling big shoes with Ella away.
Yeah, we've got some footage of where Ella actually is later in the show. But you just talk us through the victory of Sebring. Of course, the Golden Slipper coming up this Saturday, the world's richest 2-year-old race at Rosehill Gardens this year. Probably one of the more open slippers, but we'll touch upon the form and some tips a bit later on in the show. But you were able to capture one yourself
Yes.
in 2008 with Sebring.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Look, he won his 3 runs leading up to the slipper, and then a little setback. So timing, we were very lucky. He was able to start and just made the field. And he missed a kick. We had Bossy on board.
Yep.
Famously rode him along the rails for luck. He got the gap, and yeah, it was a tight finish with a horse of David Hayes called Von Costa de Hero.
Yeah.
But it was a great time. We went up to the committee room. They collected a big deal or no deal check and went out that night at Manly to a restaurant that one of the other owners owned. And look, the party just kept going and going. Backed up the following week into the Sires, and then the following week after that, this is when they're 3 weeks in a row for the Triple Crown. Just got beaten in the Champagne by a great horse, Samantha Miss. So,
Yeah.
And that was the last race. He had a career-ending injury then, and went to stud at Witham Stud.
He was a very, very successful stallion himself. He's become a very good broodmare sire as well later on in life as well.
Yeah, Horse of the Year with Dissident, and no, did very well.
Just describe the day. You know, like I guess when you get to the weight for age level and the older horses, they've been there. They've gone around the block a few times, but 2-year-olds, it can still get to them on race day. It's the biggest crowd that Rosehill ever gets.
Yes.
There was no Golden Eagle back then, so Golden Slipper Day was it. And you know, all that preparation can be won and lost in the mounting yard on Slipper Day, can't it?
Yeah, well, they start to sweat up and play up, and that's the end of the race before it started. But
and it must be a long week too, from the barrier draw, like the how fickle 2-year-olds are. You get the barrier draw on Tuesday, and you're nervously pacing up and down till Saturday, I guess, for the race to start. And then, as you said, with Sebring, he missed the kick. You must have thought, oh no.
Yeah, I thought it was all over. But look, you are crossing your fingers all the time. Obviously, Tuesday with the barrier draw, he drew well. We then went out for lunch after that. You then come down to the slipper early. We got there on the Thursday. Caught the train out to Rosehill. The whole day is really nerve-wracking.
Yep.
You're trying to focus on other things, and look, it's at the time my wife Justine was pregnant with one of our kids, so I didn't book ahead and book a table, sort of standing up with the members all day. She wasn't really pleased with me by the end of it, but look, it was just a phenomenal day. You got every owner of these horses there, so the mounting yard's a buzz, playing the national anthem. Look, it's so exciting. He missed the kick. We thought, oh well, we were silly even thinking that we could win the race, and then Bossy with his magic got the job done, and you know, it was a great time. Can't just express how excited we were, and yeah, so lucky to have such a great horse.
Racking your brain, what slipper win was that for Gay?
I don't know. I don't know. She's had plenty of them, and rightly so. Look, she knows how to pick a 2-year-old. I've been many years round with her at the Magic Million sales. She knows the type of horse that she wants to buy and needs to buy. She's prepared to spend the owner's money to get that horse. And look, the proof's in the pudding.
A lot of Sydney trainers say it's the race that they are desperate to win. You've won a number of feature races all over the countryside, including the Melbourne Cup. Where do you rate your slipper win?
Oh, certainly it was my first really big Group 1 win. Yep. So, look, it was hard to top. I think the only difference is when you take this magnificent trophy back to the Mermo Beach Surf Club for people to celebrate, racing people get it. When you bring the Melbourne Cup the whole world gets it.
Yeah.
We brought this back to the surf club and had sort of 50 people around. You bring the Melbourne Cup, you have 500.
Yep.
They just want to hold the cup. It's part of Australian folklore. So I think to the mainstream, it had a bigger impact.
Yep.
On us. I partied for more days after the Melbourne Cup, so that's probably another justification for it. But yeah, the Melbourne Cup's probably the biggest thrill.
And you've had a few runners since. Closest result, Sweet Idea running third.
Yes, that was a few years after. The year before that, had two in the race, ran fifth and sixth, but it's been a bit of a dry time since. So we're busy looking for 2-year-olds every Magic Million sale to try and find the right one. It's a tough business,
Yep.
but you'll never stop trying.
This year's edition, as we mentioned at the top of the show, one of the more open runnings of the Slipper. There's really been no dominant 2-year-old through Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and they all line up in the Slipper on Saturday with Cheyenne, the favourite, at $6 the field. Some form experts say it should be $10 the field. It's that open. Have you got a thought on the race?
I think the Blue Diamond form,
Yep.
a lot of times actually the Sydney form over the Melbourne form, but I think this year's different. I think the Blue Diamond form is where I'm focused. I'm all in on a horse called Guest House.
Yep.
I think he should have won the Diamond. Very unlucky. I think the penny hasn't dropped, and there's been a little bit of time between runs from the Diamond to the Slipper. I'm sure they've been working on that. I think if he can put it all right, he'll jump from 8, very 8 without scratchings. I think that it's his to lose, really, if he can get the right run and put it all together.
Zach Lloyd opting to go for Guest House over Spicy Miss. Thought Fireball represented value in the race. James McDonald and Chris Waller, $17. They bet $26 pre-draw. It's down to 17, coming up with barrier 7, which could be 5 after scratchings. They put the blinkers on for grand final day, and I thought his run in the Skyline was more than okay, even though he ran 6th. There was a better run than that, so I thought he represented value in the race, but it looks a very open year. A couple of horses paying late entry fees. Rosehill Gardens would not know itself if Gratz Vella won the race. Yes. With Music Time. They've paid the $150,000 late entry fee. He parties at the best of times after a win at Canberra after the races, so let alone if he won a golden slipper. He actually ended up on stage with Robbie Dolan after they won the Black Opal. So Music Time would be a great story too for the rider Pierre Boudvillin. But that is the slipper this week. So Fireball for me and Guest House for Luke. But you can catch all the action trackside here at the Gold Coast Turf Club. It is some meeting at Rose Hill. You got the Ranvet, you got the George Rider. It's probably surpassed it. Derby Day was in Melbourne was always the pinnacle day, but with a few program changes in the last few years, it feels like Slipper Day is the it day now with so many. The Galaxy as well. We've got Grafter Burners,
Gold Coast Stone Grafter Burners, yes.
The Sunlight winner, the Jewel winner. As we said on the show last year, who could have believed that he started $3.80 in a Jewel? He's now $4 in a Group 1 race, first up with Zach Lloyd. And he got a favourable draw with just 50.5 kilos. So he's going to give them an almighty shake in the Galaxy with just 50.5 kilos. Recapping Jewel Day last week, of course, the 2- and 3-year-old races were taken out by Swift Dragon, Ryan Wiggins and Liam Birchley taking the 2-year-old race. And the 3-year-old race was won in fantastic, fabulous fashion by Fabulontes, who came from second last at the corner. Call Da Vinci was heavily backed in the race, the Group 1 place getter of the JJ Atkins, 10 into 5. And when he hit the front at the 300, it was just about people lining up at the tote window to collect their winnings. But Fabulontes weaved through it inside of him and was able to get the better of him in the concluding stages, making it 3 wins on end. And Robert Heathcote is talking up big time about the Winter Carnival for Fabulontes. So I think the dual form will once again stand up come the Winter Carnival. Yeah,
they generally often gone once they hit the lead on Saturday, and just that rail hugging ride looked impressive. I'd certainly be looking for where it goes next start.
Yep, Queensland Guineas I think is the next run for Fabulontes, and of course the 2-year-olds will either have a break or press on to the Winter Carnival. Good day for Tony Gollan, a winning treble. Michael Freedman bookended the card, and Encoder taking the Gold Coast Stakes. Repeating his good form of running second in the wave to Miss Jolene during the Magic Millions Carnival. So that's a recap of Jewel Day. And our next big meeting is Hollindale. Things are starting to ramp up towards that. Of course, we've mentioned a few times that more than likely we'll see the last two Melbourne Cup winners line up in the Hollindale, which is will be some race, Luke.
Yeah, yourself and Ian Brown and Steve Lyons have been doing a fantastic job. This will be one of the cracker Hollindale fields that we've ever seen. I think that you want to get your tickets early because I think the mainstream media will identify that all the lights will be on at the Gold Coast. Focused on the Gold Coast, ready for what will be a great race, and a rating will be through the roof. And let's get Group 1 for the following year.
Sounds good. Also, the support program. Of course, we've seen horses like Beedman and Panito come out of the races last year, go on to stake success this year. That shows how strong the Galaxy is. Beedman's an emergency, can't get a run. So he will line up in a support race on Saturday. And more than likely, we'll see him during the Brisbane Winter Carnival as well, Beedman. Now, we did tease with this lookalike segment, and it's created great demand, as you'd expect, Luke. We did say we were open for Slather. We were more than happy to cop feedback. It didn't take long for the show to air last week, and we got an email. Thanks, Keith. I don't know whether Keith's a dummy name or whether it is a real Keith or not, but this is his photo of the three of us on the panel last week, Joycey, myself, and Ella. I was a bit offended by the Miss Piggy with me, but anyway, I'm more than happy to cop that sort of criticism. I thought Joycey got let off lightly and Ella pretty much on the same token, but Miss Piggy, I'll cop that. I know I have put on some weight, but anyway, as I said, we're all open for Slather here, Luke. That's part of the lookalikes segment. Now, we've also got another beauty in regards to the lookalike segments. Of course, Ella's not here, and she's missing in action.
Exactly.
Now, this come across the news desk here at the Gold Coast Turf Club, because a lot of people think I don't work, but I discovered this, and we've found where she is. She's at the annual St. Patrick's running of the Gingers. So you can see on the footage here, there she is. No, there she is again. Yeah, there's plenty of... so that's where she is. So a big shout out to Ella. Hope she enjoyed the running with the Gingers, the annual event in Highland.
I think she left her mobile phone around and put on Live 360. We got her.
Also, too, don't forget good racing coming up here at the Gold Coast Turf Club on Saturday. Check the website for Gibbo's tips, looking like big fields on Saturday.
He's been on fire lately.
Yeah, he has been. Well, thanks for bringing in the trophy, Luke.
Yes, look, anytime, certainly something that needs to come out of the house once in a while.
And hopefully another one on the mantelpiece in a couple of years' time.
Just got to keep doing the hard work. Cross the fingers.
That's us for In the Box Seat this week. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be back with a big show next week.
See you, everyone.